guys. You're
more energy.
participating.
Come on.
Get up, get up, get up.
Give it more. Give it more.
Get up. Stand on your feet. You need energy, Claudine.
You remember this
Come
song?
on.
You remember
can
this
come
song?
here if you like. Come here.
The Grace of the Holy God.
Hurry up. Don't get chained out. She's singing and I'm not.
Who sung this song in Champion for
I
Life?
know, I mean. What is mine is yours.
Okay, we're not going to beat that record because Claudine's watching us.
What?
We'll try. We'll do our best.
I'm Sue.
Pointing to the
Grace filling me with golden light, measureless blessing divine. God gives eternal life to me, perfect rejoicing is mine. Glorious the song ringing in my heart, for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him, triumphant glorious love. Joy surging like an ocean wave, flowing so deep in my soul. Hope rises as I go in praise, knowing that man will be whole. Glorious the song ringing in my heart, for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him, triumphant glorious love. I live in this eternal life, touching the top of the sky. Praise filling every part of me, blessing that never will die. Glorious the song ringing in my heart, for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him, triumphant glorious love. You've chosen me to do Your will, thankful I vow to be true. I'm praising in my heart of hearts, Father, my life is for You. Glorious the song ringing in my heart, for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him, triumphant glorious love. Glorious the song ringing in my heart, for my Father above. Gratefully I give offering to Him, triumphant glorious love. Thanks guys, please take a seat. It goes up here, on that side. You go to that side, the first thing that comes up. Go to the internet site, HCH study. Okay, I want to begin with this prayer. You know, I've been reading this prayer kind of every day for a while. And I was thinking that maybe this is like, you know, the Lord's Prayer. Does everybody know the Lord's Prayer?
Yeah.
They say it again and again and again. And see, this prayer you can say again and again and again. I like to pray. This is True Father's Prayer from 1973. Please allow us to become the children You hope for. We are binding together and offering before You our hearts and minds, which long for and adore Your precious and mighty internal character. Since we are reflecting on the past and critiquing the present and longing for our true selves of tomorrow, please grant us evidence that we are Your sons and daughters. Please let us become the kinds of sons You've been hoping and longing for, the kinds of sons You've been looking for. We represent the entire value of the universe, and are the people who represent the central value, who therefore you are able to long for. Accordingly, please allow us to become true children who can be called your sons and your daughters through your very mouth and through all your emotions and sensations. We are hoping that through our inadequate selves, you can feel that we are such sons and daughters. O Father, who loves us from a dim distance and had worked in order to develop a foundation for our lives, we are so grateful for your having endured and gone through the long ages with the hope of a day for when you can meet true sons and daughters. Because our minds have their origin in you alone, at this time also we are longing to be true sons and true daughters who are able to have value in relation to the world you are hoping for and according to the place where your mind is going. We have come here wanting to become sons and daughters who are called into the presence of our holy, merciful and majestic Father. Please let us become your sons and become your daughters who are filled with strong determination about the hope of tomorrow and the mission of tomorrow. We've humbly prayed all these things in the name of the true parents. Amen. Up. Motivational. Up. It's very hard to see there. So next, Ken Murray is going to read another thing that I feel that I've really been benefiting reading this speech again and again. This is a wonderful speech, How to Gain Spiritual Help. Go down to the PDF file up there. Mr. Murray. From the book, if you want. Try to read it from the book, whichever you want.
Then I can look at beautiful brothers. It's the same. What attitude do we need to nurture in order to move the spirit world? We need to change our concepts. Our attitude is an environment that must be prepared in order to receive spiritual help. We must use the words of the Father to make ourselves channels to receive spiritual power. The spirit world wants to be a part of everything that we have and do. They want to be involved to such a great extent. So whatever we may look at, we must search for the nobility in it and treat it as if it were owned directly by the true parents. Then everything becomes like an expensive antique, a God-given treasure. Each object is waiting for your touch, hoping to feel the vibration of God through you. Consider all things holy. Why does a handkerchief owned by a holy man become so valuable? Because of the vibration of the holy man. So you too should give all things a holy value. When you touch something, feel that you are giving it glory. The same holds true for the people we meet and live with. When you see another person, how much do you care for him or for her? How do you feel towards that person? You must really love the people that you meet because they are the temples of God. When you touch another person, feel that through your touch, both of you will be blessed. Each of us has two aspects, a mind and body. Our true mind wants to touch our body with heart and give love to it. We should think of our mind as God's mind because God loves it and that is where he dwells. Look at each man or woman as a holy person. Regard each person's body as sacred and their mind as hallowed. If you live like this, soon you will hear inside of yourself a small voice, the sound of your mind. Wherever you walk, no evil or darkness can remain. Only good spirits can touch you. If you create such an atmosphere, if you place yourself in such a position, then spirit world will pour down upon you its abundant blessing and power. You must attract this power from the spirit world and then weld yourself to it. Make it one with your body so that even your arms and legs feel special. When you're in bed, even if it is a sleeping bag, your surroundings will become like a king's palace. Your body will be resting in a king's bed. You must name yourself as the dwelling place of God. Then all good spirits will touch you. When you go to bed, lie down with a beautiful mind. Remove all ugliness from it. In the morning when you wake, come before the deep bosom of God. Then, when you start your daily activities, you will embark from the throne of God. The spirit world is always around you, listening and attentive. Always be aware that it is within your reach. If you keep thinking this way, then you will be able to control your circumstances. Make yourself a tuning fork, resonating with and vibrating along God's frequency. Resonate with God's unselfishness. If you partake of this resonance with God, then when you see someone, you will automatically be able to sense what type of person he is. Sometimes you'll be able to see your own spirit man with your own eyes. Train yourself, discipline yourself to develop this capacity. If you live this way, you will be always able to act in the right way whenever emergency arises. You are in competition with the spirit world, so you must be determined to surpass it. The position of an original man is to control the spirit world, not the other way around. With prayer coming from deep inside of your mind, you can move a man from outside to inside. Become a magnet, a mover of people's spirits. Become a spiritual magnet, drawing people with love. Maintain this condition or attitude. Then your prayer will become a reality. Pray with all your heart, focusing your mind and soul on the object of your prayer. Otherwise, your mind will become restless and hasty. In the life of prayer, you must make time to pray. Sit down, even if it takes 8 hours, and pray. This time will never be wasted. Then you can go out and work 8 hours for God. Therefore, be prayerful now, and then go out, you and God together. If you have to write a sermon, for instance, the spirit world will help you prepare it. If you go out, the spirit world will lead you. You will discover the feeling of breaking through. You will become selfless, feeling the power of your mind and body pulling together in harmony. So the key word for this kind of life is respect. Respect all things as holy things. Respect all men as holy men. Respect yourself as a holy person. Respect your mind as holy. Respect your body as holy. Pay deep respect to all people, no matter what kind of person they may be. As a child, be respectful towards an elderly man. Think over your words 3 times before uttering them, and always have a humble attitude. Always share with others the best thing that you have. Empty your pocketbook to give. Then you'll deserve the best result. If you do not do good for your fellow man, you will have no sleep. If you have done good, then your mind will rest in peace. Unpack all the dirty elements inside yourself and cleanse them. Open up the baggage of your mind and look what you find there. Do not harbor selfish feelings. Repent publicly for any selfish feelings you may have entertained. Practice the virtue of meekness. If you push yourself to develop these attitudes, then the spirit world must descend to assist you. The spirit world is using so many channels by which to come down and participate in God's providence. They will choose the best one to use first. When you touch the spirit world, all kinds of phenomena start to occur. Some very strange, some very wonderful. In our church, a true leader must be able to mobilize this spirit world. Do not be manipulated by it. You be the subject. Don't let yourself be driven by strange phenomena. Before this, you may have had to face these challenges all alone, but now you have a clearer understanding. You already know the secret of tapping power from the spirit world. Witness to others, pouring out all your heart, soul, and mind for them. When I was in prison camp, I would pray. Prisoners would just come to me and stand there. When they were introduced to me, through the guidance of spirit world, they would cling to me. You too can be like me. The problem is that you are often too distant from thinking about the spiritual dimension, holy things, holy mankind, holy temple, holy mind. When I was in the worst of situations, lonely and hungry, a revelation would come, or an important guest would appear before me. When I needed money, the spirit world would guide someone to me. Spirit world is never far away. They can cooperate with us. We should always feel that we are not doing quite enough, that we always have to try harder. Act with the support of the spirit world. If they are behind you, you will never be lonely. You will always have energy and power. Even though you may be penniless, still have no fear. You can be adventurous and bold. On the road of success, the more you walk, the further you yearn to go. Who knows how long he or she will live? Maybe tomorrow you will die at a mere 25 or 30 years old. Do you have some guarantee from God how long you will live? No one has such a guarantee. A wise person thinks like this: I have only a short time to live. Within this time, I must prepare myself for eternity. The way I live in the next 2 years will be the model for my eternal life. Then explode your sense of love. Love God, love another person as God. For an entire day, 24 hours, pour out your entire energy for someone. If you love a person like this, even though you may die early, you will have made the highest accomplishment in all eternity. Then when God gives you more time to live, your response will be immense gratitude. Push yourself to live more fully. The person who expects death and then is given life dwells in the fullest gratitude. Seek to become that master of love. Program your life like that. You will never be a loser. Plan as if you only had 2 years to live, and then by the 3rd year, when you are still alive, think of the joy of living. This is resurrected living. I still have so much to do. Love my wife, love my husband, love my children, love all mankind. I have to love my church. I must pay indemnity for all mankind. I need to take responsibility for my fellow man. I am determined to leave behind tremendous assets. Leave behind something that God can praise. Each moment is so precious. There is no time for worry or frustration. The person who recognizes that earthly life is short compared to eternity, and therefore condenses his accomplishments, is a wise man indeed. Think about what label you wear spiritually on your forehead. Ask yourself how many people, how many clans, how many tribes, how many nations you have loved. When you work, you must love that business, love the products you work with, and of course, love the people. Always give honor to the other people. God created us, but we are also shaping ourselves and restoring our original value. Return a portion of what you earn to God as a tithe. Give 1/10 to the local church, 1/10 to the national level work, and 1/10 for the worldwide level. 3/10 in all. When you give to others, don't think that you are giving to them out of your own pocket. Give as though it were coming from a heavenly treasure. Then the person who is receiving through you is actually receiving from God. The spirit world can then help you, and God will remember everything and return it to you 10 times over. Make your company a dwelling of God. Don't just feel like a worker or supervisor. Invest your heart into your work. Determine to make it a business that will serve all people. Then wherever your business goes, it becomes God's love extension. Whatever you are responsible for, give it your heart and soul on a 24-hour basis. Feel like you are the parent and it is your baby. Whatever you do, Think that you are carrying it out in partnership with God. Feel that you are the second owner. Pour all your love into it. The one who loves something the most is the ultimate owner. When you give love, you will attain infinite value. By practicing these truths, you can gain all the spiritual help you need. Is that it?
You know, for those of you who didn't come last time, it's almost a month ago, the format we had was like Kathleen Sumatani gave a testimony about love, and then this brother from New Jersey, second-gen boy, he came on with a YouTube video, and then by Skype, explaining his video. So, actually, his work for the last 2 years has been this site called hdhstudy.com. Go down, not this brother, who knows this brother? I'm going to skip him a minute. Go down, Reverend Kami. Go down. And this site is called hdhstudy.com. He's 2 years in the making, digitalizing all Father's information. Even he took a whole truckload of stuff from the seminary library and he's put it on the internet in a digital format. Dr. David Kim, who passed away, his house had this incredible treasure of documents. He was given that, and he's putting it up on this website. It's a very clean website, things you can read very easily. It's got videos, it's got all kinds of wonderful stuff. It's called hdhstudy.com. But then, out of the effort we did last time, he said he'd make a link for us. And it's called hdhstudy.com/Chicago. So can you go to that site? Is that this one we're at right now? This is Chicago. Now scroll down. So you're going to be tested. Those who were here last week are going to be tested. We're still in school, you know. Some of us aren't very old. Some of us are elderly. So this is what he'd put on. Don't worry about the top two. These came on just for this program. If you scroll down, you'll see what has been up there for a month. There's been this Spiritual World interview with Mandela, and then this Grinding America Down, which Ritzko told us about.
Yeah.
If you go down more, you'll see, stop, this is another video. This video is by Hunnell, the brother who produced the site. And if you have to watch that video to explain how to use the site. You know, simple stuff, it's school. And then if you scroll down, you'll see he recommended a few links. And then if you scroll down more, the thing I need the most is called Gmail Tasks. It's how to organize your day. Did anyone see that on this site? Okay, test time. Test. We're having a test. I hope I've got the information. So, based on the people who were here last week, stand up if you watched one of the videos on that front page that you just saw. Stand up if you watched one of the videos.
But not from him, but
No, from this site. From this site.
But I saw this two
Yeah, we
videos.
saw
Okay, you can stand up.
it.
Okay. If you've seen the Ritsuko video?
Yeah.
Okay, and how about the Nelson Mandela video?
Yeah.
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 Okay, well, stay standing and scroll down. Who else? Who looked at the links and the Gmail tasks thing? Anybody? Ritsuko looked at that? Okay. Okay, I gotta give out some prizes. Hold on. It fell down. Did it get down? Okay, but we don't have quite enough prizes. So, stand up, stay standing. Okay, so what's another qualification? So who watched the two videos? 1, 2. The Spiritual World movie and the Ritsuko's movie. The Mandela movie and the
Mandela's interview?
yeah, the interview.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Ritsuko. Okay. First prize of the night goes to.
Oh.
2 or 1.
See that? Nice.
What is it? Starbucks.
Did you see it?
Starbucks
Well,
coffee.
I will only want to.
Okay.
Can I give him my
Who watched two? Ken watched two?
Only one. Only one.
The only one? John watched. John watched two. Anyone else watch two? Oh my gosh, it's the last one.
Starbucks card.
It's John.
Well, that's fun anyway.
Okay. Okay. Now go back up a little bit, Reverend Takami. Back up a little bit. Up. Stop. You know there was hidden treasures on this website. Do you know that? So here's the next question. Who clicked on this little tiny sign? You clicked on it? Okay, stand up. If you truly clicked on it,
Truly kidding.
stand up, stay standing.
You don't have to give me a prize.
Okay, no, stand up. Did anyone else?
It's a nice one.
That's it? Don't, you know, this is motivational information. Click on it.
Very good. Yeah.
Click on it.
Because you told me.
So did you read anything?
Oh.
As a man thinking.
Did you read
I
that?
know that.
Okay, go down. And did you read this one? Nightingale.
No, as a man thinking.
Okay.
What's the name of
I don't know if
the
she
name?
deserves the prize,
No.
Reverend Takami.
What's okay? What is that?
I'll read it.
No, you gotta
What
get
is
the
that
prize.
link?
Okay, you know,
What is that link called? That the one that is.
Motivational,
Motivational.
information.
I watched that link.
Wow.
Wow.
We desire.
It's too heavy.
actually, you know, it's worth watching these videos, actually. And he's adding stuff. He's going to add stuff in the next month. So to win a prize the next time, you have to do study. We're still in life right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. No, but okay, that's it. Next, the purpose of this meeting. Now we're going to hear a testimony from a young man who's heading to England.
Yes.
And we're going to send him off as best we can. But before I send him off, I just got to say one more thing. Sorry, you know, I know nobody understands much about what we're trying to do here. Who's got that little paper?
Yeah, here's this one. This one?
Okay, the vision of building on the rock. You know, when you have time, read it. This is just some flowery words that we put together, and it might hit a chord in you, but there's much more information behind this than just this. But actually, this has got quite a lot of information. You know, we have ideas about how to improve our community through dialogue, through communicating better, and with collective wisdom come up with a better way of living together. So that's not easy. You know, living like together isn't easy, right? You know, me and my brother know all about that. Who lives with somebody who's not easy to live with? Uh-oh, a lot of hands went up there. So you guys know what living with other people is like. But it's the same thing in a community, it's just on a different scale. So we're just going to go over time, we're going to go how to improve living together. We're just doing this little format that you saw last time and this time and one more to see if we just break the ice and give people a chance to give a testimony, honoring people from the past. If you read the flyer, the first flyer here, honoring people from the past, reflecting on the present, critiquing the present. Who's ready to critique the present? Robert is. Claudine's always ready to critique. She's the master critiquer. And then, but we're honoring people who have ideas and vision, like Hunnell. For me, this guy's inspiring. He comes up with so much information. And then tonight, we're also going to hear from another inspiring person, young man, all the way from Hawaii on his vacation, Jonathan Jesper. But first, sorry, I went a little diversion there. I got to get out of the way and welcome my brother, who will only be here till the 11th of March.
Wow.
So if you need to get information from him, please do.
Can you record it?
still a little bit nervous actually after that. So, I'm going to start off in a gentle way. I'm going to show a little birthday celebration video that we put together for my brother John, who just had his 60th birthday.
Wow.
And actually he is younger than me. This is going back a few years, and it's got some music with it.
A few years?
Boys.
That would talk?
I'm the one down in the well.
Oh!
We were young ones.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, not bad. Oh.
There should be.
Oh, see, I knew I should witness to people like that.
I'm still driving Land Rovers Australia.
Wow. Do we ever stop?
Do we have to stop working? Looks like we haven't got the music. This was a little bit of the wilder days.
Castaways.
Food, I'm scared.
In the fall, searching for answers.
Where'd you find?
We like to be a bit different, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there's three grey hair down. This is our family back in the UK. Sisters and mum and
There's
dad.
your mom.
Yeah, my mum and dad.
Wow.
This is us in our younger days, back in the kids were young ones.
Who's that?
Hey, that's some good fishing, John.
There's Abel. Is that Abel?
Yeah.
Abel, that's Abel,
Oh
right.
my gosh. Oh, romantic. 87.
Back in England, that's where we're going. My mum and dad's house. Yeah, 2012,
Boy and boy. Really?
Oh, 2 years ago, right?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Christina. Kinisere. Wow.
Tumbel. Oh.
Father's funeral. This is our childhood home. This is where we started off.
Yes.
It didn't change.
It didn't change. 500 years old,
Wow.
and that's a new beginning. So, this is all.
I wanna hear you,
You want to hear me?
and then I can get inspiration.
So, this is a letter that I wrote to Maria one time. Dearest Maria, you are the one person who completes me. In you, I can just be me. Thank you so much for your love and for the depth of heart with which you express that love, not only for me, but for our family and those we have for friends. Through our difficulties, I slowly and push to deepen my relationship to God, which can in turn allow me to slowly become a better person. Slowly being the operative word. Thank you for your patience and spirituality. It allows this time that I need to grow. I pledge to learn the way to communicate with heart with each other that can allow not only each of us, but also our Heavenly Parent to be totally involved in our joy and relationship together. All my love and life I give to you. That's my sweetheart. The title of today's message, right? My brother John put me on the spot here, you know? And it's the Rock of Divine Principle, right? And this Divine Principle book actually was taken over by my daughter. And when she took it over and went to GPA, it came back to me, you know, with stuff written all over the place. Right? It just got so many comments and post-it notes written throughout the book. And I can understand that my children actually are much better than me. It was quite a wake-up call to see how seriously she had examined this book. I remember reading this book a long time ago and recognizing that it was the truth.
It's a good book.
It was a good book, and I met my Heavenly Father through this book. But do I make it a daily diet of my life? This is something that's quite different. So I was challenged here, right, to discover that actually I don't. I know there are people here that do. My brother Hans over there makes this a daily diet, right? He studies divine principle consistently. But this is the truth, right, that allows us to become free, actually. Well, this is an incredible gateway, right, into a different reality. It's divine principle. And why do I struggle reading divine principle? No, it's a problem for God, right? Because this is what makes us free, and allows us to be everything that we can be. So I'm going to read just a tiny bit from here. If I can find where it was. I might have lost it. I have lost it.
You'll mark it down?
Give us a hint, maybe we can guide you to the right section.
It was right at the end of. Okay. It's the providential results of the Third World War. We escaped in those slides. Alan would remember Australia, those slides with long hair days. That was Australia, right? And we escaped there. I had a farm set up to buy in Tasmania, and I was going to live far away from the problems of the world, because actually I didn't want to deal with the problems of the world. But other people had a different plan. My ancestors didn't allow me to get the farm. It was, even though it was sold for cheap, but something blocked us from buying it, and I never bought the farm. Otherwise I would probably still be there in Australia. But long ago, God intended to conclude his providence of restoration in Adam's family by working through Cain and Abel. Instead, Cain murdered Abel, commencing the sinful history of humanity. God began the dispensation of dividing good and evil to restore the failure in Adam's family on the individual level, and developed it through the levels of family, clan, society, people, and nation. The time has come when God conducts the dispensation on the world level. God intends to restore through indemnity the entire providence, which was prolonged to the third stage. By winning the victory in the 3 world wars, which belong to the final chapter of the providential history. So the Third World War, basically, in reading this, is over, right? It was communism. But all these other kind of world wars keep cropping up, which kind of cause us to doubt in some ways. My Quaker heritage is coming in here. It's to be quiet, right? This is meant to be a testimony, right? Testimony. Back in those pictures, I had long hair. I was quite different in some ways, right? The purpose of our searching, right, was to find God, right? To find God, to find the answers that we were searching for. Actually, I found many things. I found these incredible mushrooms on the tablelands of Atherton tablelands in Australia. Those mushrooms put you in a totally different reality. Eat one of those mushrooms, and you can become part of a rock. It's quite an amazing experience. You can sit on that rock and really feel that you are part of that rock, completely. Now, if some snake had come along at that moment, decided that you were not part of the rock, he could have taken you because you were just part of that rock in your reality. And it's just a little mushroom. It's there, you know, growing completely free for the picking, usually around the cow paths, right? We traveled and searched everywhere, searching for answers, right? And finally, when I met Divine Principle and True Parents, I knew it was what I was searching for a long time. But we searched a long time, right? You know, we searched all through Australia and New Zealand, looking basically for love that was unchanging. We discovered that love, when it breaks, is so painful. When love doesn't work, it's the most painful experience in the universe. You never want anybody else to experience that experience of love that doesn't work. And we kept searching, right? We kept moving, because our ancestors had a finger on us, if you like. They weren't going to let us just settle down in a comfortable spot. They kept pushing us on. I saw a lot of beautiful places. Actually, I would have been very happy to settle down. And, they kept pushing us on because there was a destiny there that we didn't know about. And, yeah, that destiny was to bring us into contact with True Parents. Right? The Divine Principle, I mean, this book changed so much when Sujin took it over. Because all of these notes appeared, right? Jesus said that because the people did not accept him, they were dead. To be dead is not connecting to God. Then what is living? Sacrifice yourself. So all these notes crop up in the page. God wanted you to not give up. That's Sujin's note there at some point. We have to believe and testify to True Parents. You know, we kept getting moved on every time. There were so many places I could have settled down, actually, in my life. Those pictures there in Australia, they were beautiful places that almost cemented us to that spot. But somehow we got moved on, again and again. We got moved on. And we met people that we fell in love with. We didn't want to move on. God had to really sometimes take everything away. There was a time I went walking in the mountains and I came back, and before I'd gone to the mountains, I was working in a brewery at the time, and we were allowed to take home damaged product from the brewery. Well, that particular holiday there was no damaged product, so actually I stole a case of beer. This is my confession. And that case of beer was placed in my refrigerator. And I went walking in the mountains for 3 days. And I'd left my new deerskin jacket that I'd just brought myself for Christmas hanging in the closet because I was going to be out in the mountains. And when I came back, my apartment was cleaned out. My jacket was gone. My sound system was gone. I looked in my drawer under my clothes where I'd hid my holiday pay. My holiday pay was gone. You know what was left?
Yeah.
The case of beer.
That's fun.
Somebody's got a sense of humor.
Got shot of humor.
It's amazing, right? You know, somebody is looking out for us, right, in our lives. He's watching over us the whole time. And he's there, right, with that parental heart, you know, trying to give us what we need to move us on, you know, in our lives, step by step. And every time when I thought, you know, I was getting ready to settle down, something would push me on each time. And we were pushed on again and again. We ended up climbing in the Himalayas. There was one picture there, right, in the Himalayas. And that's where John got really sick, actually. And I thought he was going to die. He hurt. You know, it was a pretty wild experience. He turned totally yellow. Wow. And it was it's really serious up there. Look, right up in the Himalayas. We climbed up in the Annapurna range, which is the end opposite from Mount Everest, but still it's 23,000 feet. we finally decided it was time to go home because we didn't feel so strong. So we flew back to England. But our travels didn't stop. God keeps pushing us, right? God actually intended the whole time for us to come and meet Divine Principle. Divine Principle is really an incredible book, right? It's such an amazing understanding of our situation today, and it gives us the strength, really, to understand how we can clarify who we are and what kind of relationships we want to have and what we want to do with our lives. It's Divine Principle. Do I study Divine Principle very much? Probably not, right? Probably not enough. Hans is good at that. He studies Divine Principle.
I practice.
I practice. With such amazing brothers and sisters here, we can't help but practice it. Now, we are so lucky, actually. We are such a lucky group of people. Because we are, all of us, striving to meet God every day. I'm so grateful that Kari came. And, Susan's I didn't see her speaking. So she thanks for coming. They are the future, right?
Yeah.
Whatever we did, is so that God could work in our lives. Right? Because, eating the magic mushrooms on the tablelands of Atherton Tablelands is not going to change the world. It changes my consciousness, right? And for a while I sat on a rock and became a rock. I've experienced that, totally becoming a rock. Completely, I was part of the rock. It's an amazing experience, actually. It's a different reality. But it's not going to change the world. From the position of sitting on a rock, you're not going to change the world. And yet we grew up in such an amazing place with so much love from my parents. And yet we needed something that would allow us to gain power to change the world. And that was Divine Principle. Divine Principle changed my life. That picture of me there with long hair, where would I have ended up if I didn't meet Divine Principle in Japan?
Rock band somewhere.
What?
In a rock band
In
somewhere.
a rock band somewhere. No, my musical abilities would not have cut it. I would not have ended up in a rock band. No way. It would have become more and more limited in my ability to interact with people. I would have become more and more separated, actually, from the opportunity, to become one with my brothers and sisters. I remember once up in Queensland, in the north part of Australia, I was out with my gun, trying to shoot something. I can't remember what it was, right? But I met this guy that was also out hunting, and I could feel real fear when I met him because I knew he was not good. I could tell, right? He was not a good person. You have no idea where we would have ended up if we continued where we were at before. I would have become more and more isolated from people, actually. But because of Divine Principle, I could change my life 180 degrees. I got my hair cut short. And I made a whole new beginning in my life because of Divine Principle. I made an experiment when I first met Divine Principle. In the beginning, it talks about if you give, right, you can receive. But what's the first thing you have to do?
Give.
You have to give. You have to empty yourself before you can receive. Most of the time, the container is filled up. Right? Most of the time, our mind is so filled up that there's no room to put anything new in. And that's why we're asked to give first, right? And then we can receive something. So Divine Principle, it's a gift from heaven, right? And it's so hard in some ways because we haven't been able to share it so much. And I really feel repentful about this. Everybody has worked so hard. we all tried so hard. You know, Elizabeth never stops trying to share divine principles. She's a special lady. But each one of us, right? This is an amazing group of people here. I booked my tickets today, right, for England, to go back to England.
Round trip.
That's the good man. That's the punch
We expect that.
man. You should always leave an escape route. If you're a wise man, you will leave an escape route. Yeah, absolutely. 6 months. But I left an escape route in 6 months. I'm so grateful to have been here in Chicago, right? I've been with such incredible brothers and sisters here. This is an amazing community. I was hoping Maria was going to get up and say something, right? Because I'm feeling a little bit, you know, without Maria, there wouldn't be anything here for me. Right? You know, she is such a beautiful lady. She completes me. We've watched a few times over the last few days the what's the movie called again? And we've been watching the last few days. Someone keeps watching it.
There's a kid,
The,
cute of heaven.
no, the one about gosh, the guy that's you know, he's crippled, right, and he's living in the body of that Avatar. That's right. We watched the Avatar movie 2 or 3 times the last few days because you know. Sarang, when she starts to watch one, you know, she doesn't change, right? She'll watch that movie quite a few times, right? And she's very particular about the films that she watches. But that film is so powerful, actually. You know, it's such a righteous film. You know, and yeah, we have to keep fighting for goodness. And we do. Struggling here. I need to say something about my brother John.
He's out of time.
Keep going.
You saw his picture there, right? You know, he's a really righteous guy. He's a really righteous guy. And he's really pushing to bring about change. You know, and it's about coming to the point where we can bring results. You know? That's what it's about, right? Because there's no freedom without results, honestly speaking.
Right.
You know? And we're at the point where we need results. You know, and it's okay to fail. Do you know that? It's okay to try things and fail. What would be a mistake is to not try and go fail. You know, to be so protective that you might not experience anything. The important thing is to try. Whether it is sitting on a rock, you know, and eating a mushroom to see what it feels like, you know, it's not a problem actually. What is a problem is not fighting to grow, you know, and to experience life, and experience God. That's a big problem. When I look back over my life, we've experienced so many incredible things, and I'm so grateful to that. And I'm going forward from now. Yeah, I'm concerned going back to England. Because actually, if we think we're going to go back there and, you know, retire or hibernate, we're not going to make it.
Right.
We have to go back and start all over again and invest ourselves all over again. Just like we did in Australia, just like we did when we come here. We have to go back and start at ground zero and invest again. Because that's what our Heavenly Parent does all the time. And that's what Divine Principle does for us. This is the most amazing book. And I see Sujins over there, because all of these notes are Sujins. Susan took this book away, right? This was my book. She took it away and put her name in it, right? And all of these things appeared all through the book. So it became quite, quite interesting to read it. Be able to push someone aside to get what you want. Freedom. It's interesting, right? Don't be stopped by some small obstacle, right? Anyway, it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be in such an awesome community. And I'm sure you'll see me back. This is just a gateway. So I'm giving it up for my brother here. He's a special guy. Right? He's a really great guy. And
What can I say?
you want to say something?
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Miss Brazil! God, give me inspiration. Actually, I am so really deeply grateful for Heavenly Parent to give me a life and to divine principle. I would like you, for everybody, I'm sure that's pretty happy to so divine principle change completely your life. It's like you die, you come again, you go in such a atmosphere of the spirit world, alive. You have a experience. In the beginning, I was doubt. Then I pray, God, if you to parent is the Messiah, I want to see something. Prove to me. I want to have some real dream or something. Show me. And then I asked that, and then it happened. Really happened. I dreamed with him in the most simple way, very simple. Show me what he was. I dream he was in somewhere that house, no, just how to call, just cover by, and top cover with the leaves, coconut leaves, coconut leaves that big, and then cover. And then open, and then he was like in a place where he hunted. And then he was dead and would make food. And then he gave me, I come, and he smiled for me. And then I already see, he's him. And he smiled and then give me the food, his food he gave to me. And then I walked towards him. I gave my hand to him, but he did not touch my hand. And when I wake up, and then that thought come to me, then he is a pure. I am not. I'm a sin. That's why I can touch his hand. He can touch my hand. And in my heart, I was comfort with that thing. He is a pure, I am not. He cannot touch my hand. And this is giving me really show. Then I begin to believe is a real Messiah. What my mother talked about was the Bible, but I was Catholic, or people talking about the Messiah will come. And my mother talked about the Messiah in 2000, the Messiah will come, the Bible says. And I say it is giving me very, very true my doubt I have. And then through that, I begin to push myself and believe. And more dreams in the church begin to come. But I feel strongly things by my side wanted to stop me, like shadow, stop me to continue. He's coming. He's coming, think right, coming, negative, think, all that confused all the time. Yes or no, yes or no. It's, all the time I had the dreams. Then I feel if I was not found the divine principle, I will not have a life, long life, a physical life. This is so, I'm so deep. I can say in non-five words how grateful I am for Heavenly Parent, for two parents to give this life for all of us to be here. And when I received the blessing, I think I was not deserved the blessing. I was not prepared enough. 1.5 years I received the blessing. I was qualified to go to the blessing. And then what I feel, I'm not prepared enough. And all the time I feel I didn't do enough, and yet I am not qualified. I push myself. So I have a central figure, very good person, give an example and sacrifice ourselves. And I have a compassion for what they work hard and what they do. And then this, maybe I was not have low enough, but because the feeling, I see the sacrifice, when I begin to read the divine principle, begin to understand they sacrifice all the central figure, the members, the elder members around me. And then I begin to push myself to have compassion for the others. And when I received the blessing, I didn't have any desire to get a blessing, to take a responsibility. For me, it was a big responsibility to take. But because when I received testimony, people was living here, a sister was living here, the Brazilian, for a long time already, blessed, send a letter for me, give testimony to my husband is a good man, he worked hard and front ways, and always he give what he can to fulfill his responsibility. And then I begin to feel sympathize and low and compassion. And I see the people deserve the way they push themselves, they work, they deserve. And maybe it was not love, but it was this feel of see people, you see what they do, see what they fight for. And that's what makes me push myself to. But I think I don't deserve. All mine, I don't deserve. But when I see people do it, I see they deserve. I deserve too. I do myself. And then when I was chosen, I was calling to go to the place. I say, how I go? I don't have anything. How can I make money? And they say, you are so 2 weeks to make money to go. And she was prepared the group to go. And then I push myself. I say, I don't have anything. She says, just try. I say, okay, I'm gonna try. And then work until 2 o'clock in the morning. Because I saw her efforts and push herself and hard to help me. I say, okay, I'm gonna do my part. And this way I begin to have experience and feel through the compassion. I begin to feel love and believe I deserve to get the blessing. And then all the fight we have in our life. I'm so grateful for my brother-in-law, Reese, working hard all the time. Even sometimes it's difficult for me, because sometimes for us, maybe for Noriko, for me to really to do the things. You say, how can I do? I don't know how to do the things to help. It's my support. In my heart, I want to support anything to help him because I see what he exposed, his desire, his sacrifice, his suffering from him and my husband, all people, community, all brothers and sisters. And then I am so grateful to have this community of brothers and sisters. I feel truly very close to each one, even if you don't talk to each other, but in my heart, I feel so close and compassion for everyone, and desire for everyone to success and be happy. Thank you very much.
Now, when I went to Indiana, when I first got this kind of inspiration, I went to Indiana to the Super Bowl. And when I walked into the house of Keith Peel, I felt instantly, this inspiration came to me. Keith is a national treasure. You know how him and Renee have taken care of their daughter, like 25 years. So he's a national treasure. So I think Chris and Maria are going to be national treasures. But only on the condition that they make it happen in England. There's qualifications to be a national treasure. He's an American treasure now, but he's got to be an English treasure. So we're so running out of time. We're going to get a 10-minute video all the way from Hawaii with some inspiration from a young man who has money in his pocket. He has a girl on his side. And he's sitting on the beach in Hawaii right now. Beat that. Jonathan Jesper.
Shall we use this?
Hello everyone, how are you? We are here filming from beautiful Maui, Hawaii. I would like to start off this evening's presentation with a reading. Arctic air will shift into the Midwest, bringing temperatures as much as 30 degrees below average into the weekend. Temperatures will fall low enough to challenge records late this week. The cold air will stay in the northern tier of the country, spanning cities such as Green Bay, Chicago, Fargo, and Traverse City. Chicago will also endure colder air to the end of the week. Highs on Thursday will be kept in the single digits, with the low plummeting near -10. Wind factored in, real temperatures will be as low as -35.
Yay!
That stinks! We're surviving out here. We're right now at my great aunt's house. She has a beautiful oceanfront property. Our next door neighbor over there, you look over there. That's country music stars Willie Nelson's house. We're having a wonderful time. Hope you're doing well, surviving without us. Uncle John asked me if I could be able to talk and share about my passion and what drives me. I know right now in our community, we have a lot of things that are going on. In our movement, we have a lot of things that happened, a lot of problems in the last few years. And I think a lot of people can feel that we have nothing very special. We have a lot of struggles, a lot of challenges, and there's nothing really kind of special about us. And we don't have really anything to share with the world. I really disagree with that. And I think that that's farthest from the truth. And for me, what drives me and what's my passion is living the complete life. I call it the blessed life, the complete package. Living everything that God, our Heavenly Parent, wanted us to be. Living in internal and external excellence. This is the dream that I think that God had when He created us as His children. This is a dream that God had when He created, or Heavenly Parents had when He created the world, that we could live this kind of life. This is a dream that Reverend Moon and Mother Moon had when they went through all their challenges and suffering. They had this dream that we as their children could live this kind of life. This is a dream I believe that my parents and the first generation of our movement took on when they decided to help change the problems in our world. They had this dream that we could live an amazing life, live a blessed life in a covenant with God. I think we take for granted sometimes what we know, what we have. We forget what it's like to really live in the world, to live without knowing about divine principle, true parents, or even our community, what we have in our own community, the people that we have. And even if we look at divine principle, for me it is the most complete understanding of how the world operates, how our Heavenly Parent created the world, the principles that are in this universe. It unlocks questions about what is the purpose of our life. How can we tie in and bring different religions and cultures together? Even it answers questions about human history. It shows clearly how there's a pattern in history. History is not just a sense of random events. That there's a flow, a direction of how history is going. And it shows, and it kind of gives this complete package. You know, Satan wants us to live randomly. I think Satan likes it when we live without a purpose, without direction, without principles. Because our mind, we don't have any goals. We're easy prey. We just drift along. But what the teachings of Father Moon and what Divine Principles show us is that if we live our lives with purpose, if we follow divine principles and live our life with values, we can have such an amazing and abundant life. That's really kind of a dream I think we have, is to live a complete life. What is the complete life, the blessed life? You know, the blessing, making this covenant with God. What kind of life does it entail us to lead? I believe it's basically fulfilling the three great blessings. The first is to be of mature character. Second is to be able to multiply that character we have into a family. And the third is to be able to take that maturity, that character I love, and just to be able to have dominion, enjoy the world. Our community, I think we're really good at the first blessing. We take it for granted because we know everybody. We have saints. We really do. We have some of the most amazing people I know are in our community. If they're the same people attending this meeting that Uncle John told me attended last week, or 2 weeks ago, then you guys are some of the most amazing people I know. We also have great families. We have, well, no, there's different problems and challenges in families, but we also have amazing families in our community. We're especially, I think we're falling short, is in the third blessing. And that is getting the external prosperity. Especially, I think that's true financially. So that's where recently I've been focusing a lot of my energy and my time. I want to develop a good financial foundation. I think it's really important. And I also think that it's the key to solve many problems that we have. Can you imagine if we had more like external prosperity? If we had more financial success? What kind of community we could have? I think first people would have a lot more time. They would have a lot more available time. They would have more resources and tools to do things. A lot of people view money as bad, as evil, we don't need it. But I think also that's all Satan's trap. Money is nothing, it's the same as water, it's the same as any material thing. It doesn't have a conscience, a soul. It's just whatever we do with it determines whether it's good or bad. I imagine if we had this money, I think we were financially better. Also, our movement. Imagine how confident everyone would be. I think the whole spirit in our community would be different. People would have more of a sense of confidence, a sense of accomplishment. And we could have resources and tools where we can do things to really help others and help the world. So that's one of my big passions, is to be able to develop a financial foundation and help others do it as well. So how do we do that? Well, we learn that if we follow principles in our life, we can have success, right? Divine Principle teaches us that if we follow these principles, we can develop a great character and have a beautiful family. The same is true for everything. If you want to have an amazing body, which I don't have the most amazing body, Tad's there is pretty good, or Emmanuel, you guys are doing well. If you exercise, you eat right, you can develop a good body. Well, that's true financially as well. If we follow principles of money, then anybody can develop a financial success. There was a great teacher named Jim Rohn, and he gave a talk. And in his talk, he challenged everyone to make $1 million. And why he asked them to make $1 million was not so that they would have a lot of money, but for actually who they have to become to make $1 million. What principles you have to live. You can't live a random life. You have to live a principled life. And right now in our movement, living this principled life is not so exciting. It's not. People don't see it. A lot of kids, I don't think, are inspired to become what their parents are. That's our reality, but that's not the ideal. I think we have all the tools. We have all the tools and resources to live an amazing life. So then, what is our role? Our role is to be an example of that life. It doesn't mean that you won't have challenges in your life. Stuff's always going to come up, but it doesn't mean that the challenges or struggles or suffering you have to go through has to define your life as well. The reason God has worked through history to give and establish the blessing is so that we can have a covenant with God and live an amazing life. And we need to do that. I think we have to become examples of living the complete life. We have to have a great character. We have to develop a character maturity that can serve and love and have virtues. We're all working on it, I know. We also have to have families, good families. And the third is we have to have some success, material success. We want to become people that when other people look at us, they'll say, wow, I want that. I want to become like that. That's what I want in life. We have to be that example. And we need to be able to have that, and we have to share it with others. Right now, we're very good at just staying in our community, staying in our groups. We need to reach out and share that with other people. And you may think, well, I'm not inspired at all to share right now. I don't really want to share. I think our church has a lot of problems, and the church is not good. But actually, if we don't have a church, it's not a big deal. Church is just one small aspect of what we have in the big grand scheme of things. Church is just one piece. Actually, people can have their own church and still learn about the blessing and receive the blessing to make their covenant with God. To be able to follow, all they need is you need the blessing. You can have teachings, virtues to live by, the teachings of Father Moon. And the third is you need a community. You need people, a mentor, people to help talk and share. I have confidence when people see what we know. They know what we know, but then they also see the results in our lives. They're going to want what we have. We have such amazing people in our community. I think we just forget what it's like to live outside our bubble, what it's like to live without Divine Principle. Us young people born into the movement, we don't even know what it's like to live without Divine Principle. We heard it our whole lives. You know, all of this is established that people need to know that there is a higher realm of love to live for. That there's a much greater joy than just living for yourself. There's a greater joy in a community, bringing joy to everyone, including yourself. And we have to share that. So what does that mean? It means that we have to become successful. Well, what do we have to do? It means we can't also live normally. We have to have a passion in us to live more than an average life. We have to have big goals, big dreams. Now, personally right now, I don't have all the answers. I'm young, I'm still learning, I'm growing. Financially, I'm just getting started. But there's some things I do know. There's some things I've learned. I mean, look at this. It's beautiful, right? I'm not cold here. Do you know how I paid for this? I went shopping. It's incredible how many ways you can make money. I make money by going shopping. I'm more than happy to share anything I do know or I do have and help. And Uncle John asked me to share, as I know this group that we have is supposed to be able to inspire dialogue, that we can talk about things. So I hope this can inspire some dialogue. Give input. What do you think? I don't know if I'll be able to join you today, but talk about it. You know, do we really not have anything to share with others? Is there really nothing special about us? Can we really live an amazing life? I think we're all put on this earth for a reason. And I think our Heavenly Parent, when He made us, all of us, we have a talent that we can contribute to the world. There's so much potential in everyone that we're not even releasing because we don't have a big enough vision and goals. But we can do it. So, living a life of love, living a life of character, and living a life of abundance. Of love, life, money, everything. Living this blessed life, the 3 great blessings, the complete package. That's what I'm all about. That's my passion. And that's what I think we can all accomplish together. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you guys can come, be here with me, but don't worry, in a few days I'll be out there too. Thanks a lot. God bless.
Well, that was great. Sorry, we're 5 minutes late. 8:30 was the goal, to finish at 8:30. I don't know if you got any inspiration. I just want to mention one thing my brother said. He mentioned about the Third World War. If you'd watched the video that Ritsuko mentioned, the Third World War is still ongoing. Is it will remain an internal war, and will we succeed? Guess what that depends on? A little bit on us. So now one of my ideas is that we need to really discuss who we are in this age right now. You know, if you read the 1 Hour Manual, it explains everybody's specific role throughout history. But what's the history that we're creating right now, the next 20 years or 21 years? Will the history books write good of us? Or will we put ourselves in a category where we could make it another 400 years? That's the question. You know, we need to talk about it. We need to talk about that kind of thing. As Jonathan said, dialogue about the reality of our lives. That's the purpose of the longer term purpose of this idea. But we're beginning with, you know, these testimonies, honoring people from the past, checking out a few guys that got it together. You know, there'll be a few more. They're in our community. They're around the world. People who got it together. We need to get that kind of inspiration, right? I took 2 more minutes. I'm sorry. We're going to finish now. My brother's going to pray, and I really thank you for coming. I hope you got some value out of being here.
Good evening, my wonderful Heavenly Parent, and good evening, true parents. Heavenly Parent, we can never honor or give enough thanks to you for persevering when you had so many difficulties and so many things seemed to go wrong for you, but somehow you held on to this dream that you have of a world of laughter and happiness and love for all of your children throughout this universe. We're so grateful to be alive at this time, this phenomenal time in history when you have been walking on the earth through our true parents, and that you've been able to establish a foundation of absolute love on this earth. And we've been blessed to be able to receive that example. Please empower us to be able to share it with the people that we meet every day, and to discover how we can put it into practice in our families, the kind of principles and love that can be a source of laughter, hope, and joy for you, Heavenly Parent. Thank you so much for your love, for your truth that you've shared with us through our true parents. please protect and bless each of the true children in their families. Allow them to come together to get past the divisions, the barriers that are there. Please help Mother draw them all together again so that we can see the foundation of love that true Father and Mother have built be shared and be built in every family. We honor you, we give thanks to you for this meeting tonight and offer it all to you with love and gratitude in all of our names here and in my own name, to Ogden of the Ogden Blessed Central Family.
The next time we're going to do this is on the 19th of March, it's a Wednesday. And actually, I'm looking for, like, if there's let's me reword this. If there's a wonderful, inspired person from our community who wants to give a testimony, let me know. And if you've got, like, somebody you could point to, a young person who's out there making it happen, let me know. We've got a little while to prepare. Thank you very much. God bless you guys.